is up, Baton Rouge? I'm Lee Jacoby, your 2025 Fort Cancer Event Chair with Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center.
And I'm Caitlin Cockerham, your American Cancer Society staff partner. We are so excited to be here in the Garage Studios, brought to you by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Shout out Gordon and his team for hosting us. We are thrilled to be interviewing majority of our amazing tastemakers over the next couple of days to hear all about their why, what they're excited about for Fort Cancer, get to know them on a little deeper level. And so without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's hear from our tastemakers. Thanks, guys. Welcome back. How are we?
Good. How about you?
Day 3 of podcasting.
Settling into your podcast host role.
Yes. I know. I'm like, I can do this forever now. Like, I'll just gab
You're
all
a
day
natural.
long. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well,
I'm
next
pumped
up,
for this
me
one.
too. Next up, we have got Miss Kristyn Starkovich with Rivalry Consulting. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So just give us a quick little background on who you are, what you do at Rivalry, and just all the things.
I'm from Prairieville.
Okay.
Born and raised. We live in Baton Rouge now. I've been married for almost 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I've got 3 kids and a newly adopted dog from a few weeks ago.
Cute.
She's the best. And then, of course, we have 3 cats also. But
So just a little bit on your plate.
Yeah,
all the things.
No big deal. Just a normal day in the Starkovich household. But so I own Rivalry Consulting with my sister. A little sibling rivalry there.
Okay, I love that.
We do a lot of human resources work and communications coaching and business coaching for small businesses in the area. Our whole thing is like, hey, maybe you're creative, or maybe you're a hairdresser, or what, but you built your business because you want to do this thing that you're passionate about, and I would be willing to bet like all of the money we've raised so far that you're not passionate about HR. But there are things you have to do to be compliant and things you have to do to lead your people correctly. And so that's where we come in. So you can do the thing that you love to do, and we can do all the other stuff that is required of you from being a business owner.
That's so cool. So you're like, I love it, so I will take that on for you.
I do.
Yeah.
I do love it.
That's awesome. We're actually going to do a game, a little this or that, quick fire questions, just to get everyone excited and learn a little bit more about the fabulous Kristyn. We ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Salty or sweet?
Salty.
Ooh. Frozen or on the rocks?
Rocks.
Ooh. Okay, what do you want around the rim?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I actually don't want a margarita at all. If you can just give me some reposado over ice by itself,
we're good to go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Way to Kristyn. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Okay.
Not super early.
Okay.
But also not super late.
Yeah, not super late.
I'm very old.
No, you are not.
No.
Stop. Best pizza place, in your opinion?
Ooh. Don't sleep on just straight up like Domino's delivery. I don't know if it's the best. I'm partial to Roca and Pizza Barons. Those are my two.
We had another vote for Roca. Yeah,
those are my two like fancy places for pizza. But there is no such thing as bad pizza. I would eat pizza out of a gas station. I'd eat pizza off the floor. I'd eat it cold, hot, like Sam I Am. All the pizza.
I love it. Lauren said that. She said Roca, and then she said, but the Domino's on Government specifically is the one that hits the best.
Yeah, Blue Bonnet.
Okay.
Domino's on Blue Bonnet.
Okay, we got to do a taste test now.
We're gonna have
so they won't deliver to my house, but they'll deliver to the front of my neighborhood.
Yes.
So if we're feeling particularly lazy, we'll have it delivered to the front of the neighborhood, and then we'll drive just right up there.
Yeah, right up there to get it. Yeah. That's weird. It's 2 minutes.
So weird.
Down that road. I mean, you are going down that one road, but whatever. If you could trade places with any celebrity for the day, do you know who it would be?
Oh God! If I could run Martha Stewart's empire for the day, that would be my dream.
And be besties with Snoop Dogg.
I love Martha. Like, we watched the Martha documentary, and my husband's like looking at me, and he's like, "You're her. Like, you're Martha." I'm like, "I am Martha."
And I'm going to embody that with every
and all the Martha fierceness. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Best place to get French fries, in your opinion?
Ooh, I kind of feel about French fries the way I feel about pizza. Like there's not really a bad French fry.
I agree.
I will say this much. So we recently took the kids on a trip to France, and their laws surrounding the way they cook food is a little bit different. And so all of their French fries are fried in beef tallow instead of, whatever vegetable oil, whatever, what we do here. And it's a big difference. It's a really big difference. But like a truffle fry,
you can't go wrong.
Truffle fry all day. Yeah.
That's it. Chef's kiss right there.
Yeah.
Yes. We've asked everyone this, but Lil Wayne or Boozy?
Wayne.
Ooh, that was quick.
Wayne.
All right, I think Wayne might win this.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Boozy had a little bit of a run in the beginning.
That's my party trick. There's a Lil Wayne song that I can actually rap start to finish.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Right, so.
Are we ready for this?
It's not.
Can we know the song?
Maybe
appropriate.
late night May 1st.
The
We'll
name
get
of
that
the
out.
song is not even appropriate.
Got it. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah. I'll show you one day.
Yes, I would assume that would be your best hype song, so I'm not going to ask you that one.
Oh, yeah.
Having a dinner party, choose your player. Choose your top 3 guests at your table.
Wait, is this like people I know, or
Can
is
be
this
famous,
just be like
dead, alive,
random...
fictional, whatever.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's a tough one.
Is it good? I know.
That's a really good one, but that's a tough one. So Martha Stewart, obviously, like once again, it's always Martha. Man,
I know it's kind of tough.
this is really tough. I'm betting he's probably not the smartest guy in the room ever, but he's pretty to look at. So Rob Gronkowski can also come to my dinner party.
I could see
He's
him and
somebody-
Martha like bantering.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I mean,
that would be a good time.
Yeah. Man, I guess my husband can come. He can be the third guy.
Yeah.
Me, Martha, Gronk,
And your
and
husband.
Ken.
Love it.
I feel like he gets a bad rep though. You know what I mean?
Gronk.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like how much of it is an act versus how
I was
much.
about to say how much of it is like his brand at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
But you never know.
I don't know that anybody is expecting to discuss theoretical physics with
Of
him or anything
course,
like
of
that.
course.
So, it's working for him.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
he wants to. He's just never had the opportunity.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe so.
We'll bring him
I
on.
don't know.
We'll bring him
You
on
don't
the
know.
pod. Yeah.
Shout us out, Gronk, if you're
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Those were amazing answers. I'm so excited to get
Perfect.
started.
Yeah. So I guess to dive into things, what made you say yes to Fort Cancer, and what are you most excited for about just your journey as a tastemaker?
So this is so far outside of my comfort zone. Like when I
Really?
tell you, if I could sit behind my computer and do like technical writing and write like things like employee handbooks and stuff like that all day and never have to really interact with another soul, like I'm down for that.
You're content.
But this is something really close to my family. We lost my grandfather. It's been almost 6-7 years now,
Wow.
and so that was tough. It was really tough. And so when this came up, like if you knew him, he was the most frugal person that anyone had ever met. And we found out I was the one who took care of getting him to all his treatments and his infusions and things like that. And we found out that if I went and donated blood and assigned it to his name,
Right.
they would take $15 off of his bill.
Stop. He's like, you go.
15 whole dollars. Okay. So I'd get him settled. Here's your blanket. Here's your reading material. Let's get the TV straight. And then I would head down and donate blood. And then, you can only do blood whole blood
Right.
so often. And so that turned into plasma, because you can do plasma pretty much once a week, I believe. So that turned into a lot of, time spent in the blood bank. And, he would be so excited. Like so excited for this $15 to come off the bill. And so, the idea that like we are sitting here raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, like the idea that even me on my own is facilitating
Crushing
the raising
it.
of, so much money is just, I think like, gosh, if he was alive to see this, like what would he think? Like that $15 versus,
We're almost at 200,000 already this
Right.
year. Yeah.
like how amazing. And it's the cause is so important. We were fortunate, my grandfather's 2 children both worked full-time jobs and, were maintaining, household. I was lucky. I was, my kids were in school. I was not working full-time at the moment. And so, my grandmother didn't drive, or at least didn't drive in Baton Rouge. She's not driving in Baton Rouge. And so, at that time, it's like, all right, well, he can't drive because he's receiving treatment. She won't drive in Baton Rouge. Their children can't step up and do this because of work obligations. And how many people are in that sort of situation, but they don't have someone who can step in and do it. We were lucky. Like I got to do that, and I'll never trade it. I got to spend so much extra time with him in those last 2 years. But there's so many people who don't have that option. And so for this cause to be raising money to facilitate things like transportation for people who don't have it is like just so huge.
That is huge. What was his name?
Steve Smith Sr.
We're going to have to raise a glass to Steve.
We called him Pawpaw. My kids called him Pappy. So, he was the best.
Yeah. He would be so proud of you. You are absolutely crushing it right now.
Thank you so much.
I remember texting her. Actually, Grace was the one who was a previous tastemaker, year 2, and she's continued to stay involved. She's a lead with us. She continues to be a leader on the board. And she's like, I know this really cool woman, awesome person in the community. Her name's Kristyn. I was like, okay, like who is she? And I texted you, and I am so glad I did, because it's been so wonderful just getting to hear about you, your story, your business that you have developed with your sister, which I wanted to ask you about, because I know I want to go to you. We've talked about that a little bit. It's just been crazy with Fork. But tell us about, what you do there, how you help people in our community, and, just everything that you offer.
So one of the things that you and I had talked about a little bit, so we do some communications coaching. One of the things that we use as a tool for that is the Enneagram, which, if you've been on Instagram or anything like that, you've seen some Enneagram content more than likely.
What number I am now.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, I went to your house for the one-on-one, and you were like, I already know what number you are. And I was like, oh,
it's some of them are really easy to spot.
Yeah.
So we got certified to be Enneagram coaches, and so we use that a lot of times with. Look, it's fun. We've done it for bachelorette parties. We've done
that's
fun thing, but it's also a really, in all seriousness, it's a really great tool for communication among teams and staff and things like that. And so we've seen some pretty interesting transformations, and we've gotten feedback from people that are like, you've completely changed the dynamic of how we communicate with each other in the office, because if you understand your own motivations and you understand the motivations of your coworkers and your colleagues, then you're gonna tailor your communication to make sure that it lands the way it needs to land for the person who's receiving it,
the audience.
And so it's a great way to kind of self-reflect, and then and it's funny, my sister and I are very different Enneagram types.
Really?
And so it's we're able to kind of step back sometimes and laugh and be like, oh, your type 1 is showing, like you're really being an extra type 1 today. So it's it helps to name things. It helps to, know those things about, the people that you spend more time with the people you work with a lot of times than 100%. Your family. And so, the more you can know about them just as a person and who they are and how they operate, like the better you can.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up. My manager actually had us do that as a team. I think it was summer of 2013. Like we had some new team members and like new people taking on new roles. And so she got us all, and we work remote. And so she was like, we rented out a conference room somewhere, and like we all got together. We took the Enneagram test, and then we kind of went over our results together. And I am telling you, like, I think that is part of the reason like our team is successful. And especially even like her as a manager. And like just me, for example, like I forgot what number I am, but like I'm very goal oriented and like task oriented. But I also like, I don't want to say praise, but I like to know that I'm doing a good job.
I think
like,
you might be a 3.
Okay.
I was going to say she's going to rate. Like, she's
yeah.
Give you
And so she is
based off that.
Yeah. And so she's so good at like giving me kudos to, because I will like bring myself down, like I don't think I'm doing a good job, I don't think like I'm not living up to expectations, blah blah blah. And
she kill it every time.
She's like very good at like, by the way, like amazing job at this, blah blah blah. And like it helps me stay on task with my job and like stay, so like you said, it has worked for our team, so I can truly imagine how it works for
it
others.
reminds me of like, remember when all the rage was like finding out what your partner's love language is.
Mhm.
You know, it's acts of
Oh.
service, or it's, you know,
Physical touch, whatever.
Right,
Mhm.
right. So it's kind of similar to that in a way that, like, when you find out what makes the other person tick, like, now she knows, like, you
Mhm.
need positive praise. So she's
Mhm.
got that in the back of her mind, like, hey, I need to make sure I tell Caitlin she did a good job today.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely the more you know, kind of the more you know
Exactly.
about the people that you're surrounding yourself with, then the better you can communicate with them.
And the better leader you can be, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. All about getting that team efficiency.
Yeah.
Yes, which is what you've done. I mean, let's just shout out your football board in general.
Oh my
You
gosh.
rallied
yes.
that together. You
me tell you.
raked them. I messaged her. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give you the money. I don't know what it is. I had to look it up. I was like, I don't know anything about this. Like,
You know, I thought this was gonna be easy peasy. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I mean, people
You do this all
around
the
here
time.
love to
Yeah.
gamble.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
$25. What's the big deal? Whatever.
yeah, for
I didn't
for
like
cancer.
100 squares that's
A lot.
That is a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
That is a lot of squares to fill. And at the end of the day, like, you know, I'd already told you, look, the money's coming no matter
Yeah.
what. Like, I'll pay it out of my own pocket before I scrap this. But I don't want to publish
An empty
blank
board.
football
Of
board
course,
on
of
Sunday
course.
morning of the Super Bowl. Like, hey, like, you know,
Yeah.
we didn't make it happen. So yeah, I was out there begging,
Yeah. But
selling
I just
my
thought
soul.
it was so creative, so unique. I mean, and you just really went for it. And I think
was-
that's really chose you.
It worked out great, like everything. And then, you know, like, huge shout out the friend who purchased she purchased several squares actually, and she purchased the one that won the final
Awesome.
score, which
Yeah.
was a $250 payout,
Yeah.
which would have covered more than what she had spent on squares. And she says, no, donate it back. Donate
Oh,
back. So
wow.
instead
Oh
of
my gosh.
yeah, instead of $1,250, we were able to donate $1,500.
That's
Oh,
So that was great.
amazing.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
shout out to her.
Yes.
What a
Yeah.
good friend.
Yes,
Keep her in
she's
your
been
circle.
so supportive.
Yeah, that's so fun. I'm actually going to ask you a fun question. If Fort Cancer was a cocktail or a dish, in your opinion, what would it be? Which one and why?
I feel like Fort Cancer is like your grandma's spaghetti. Like, it's just it you know, it fills your tummy,
soul.
but also your soul.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you feel warm
Wow.
inside.
I like
You
that.
know, we're,
Put
we're-
that on a
yeah,
pillow.
put it- yeah, make a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's
We'll do that on the
cool.
back of the Fort Cancer t-shirts this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the fork, we actually made the t-shirts, or, you know, they made the t-shirts last year, and
They did
fork
have one
the
of
spaghetti.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
They did, yeah.
That's awesome. Way to connect that. So Kristyn, I just feel like you're extremely passionate about Fort Cancer in itself, and the role it plays in the community. What continues to make you, a passionate person in the Baton Rouge market, in the community, not only with Fort Cancer, but just in your own life, your business, your career, everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, this is where we live. You know, this is where you live. It's where you work. It's where you play. It's where you've chosen to raise your children. You know, it's where maybe you have family here, maybe you don't, but this is your life. Like, this is your town. This is your life. Get involved. I think a lot of times the news cycle can make us feel helpless and make us feel down. And I mean, you know, we've all been sitting here doom scrolling on our phones, and, you know, you get that feeling of just like, geez, like
What's next?
you know, and you feel like, how can I even really make a difference in anything? And
Yeah.
so, like, at the end of the day, you just have to do it. You just have to get out there and do something, whether it's whether it's coaching a child's ball team, whether it's buying a football board square, like, whatever it is that you're doing, every little bit that you do is going to make you feel just a little bit less helpless and a little bit more purposeful with your life. And so, you know, I mean, I started in high school. Like, I was in every club. I was in, you know, like, did tons of philanthropy and things like that throughout college and high school. And then even, you know, when I was very young in the workforce, I worked at a chemical plant, and they're like, hey, we need someone to sit on the board of this organization called Rebuilding Together. And I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I mean, I'm like 20-nothing years old and sitting on the board of this nonprofit, but, like, you know, getting to see these people who, you know, maybe needed wheelchair ramps installed in their home so they could literally get around, you know, have that taken care of for them was very rewarding. And so, you know, throughout the years, you know, I helped run the PTA over at the kids' school. You know, it's like everyone should always be doing something, and it's really easy to get caught up in the the minutia of life.
Right.
Like, what am I going to cook for dinner? I've got to do another load of laundry. I've got work. I've got emails. I've got kids need to be run here and there. But you've got to make the time. You've got to set the example. It's the only way that this sort of thing continues on, like in the future with younger generations too.
I need you to just speak to me every morning.
Yeah.
Just hype me up.
I mean, like a little motivation.
Give me the mantra. Yeah.
Hey, look, some days I'm off though. I'm gonna be like, look, I don't know what to tell you today.
No.
Just get out of bed, do your best.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And be kind. Be kind and do good.
Just be nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Just put out in the world what you want to get back.
Yeah.
That is literally be a good person.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so
that's
simple.
it.
And that is so
simple.
you to a T.
Right. Well, this has been like such an interesting conversation. I've loved hearing about like what you do and just everything that you're so passionate about. So we just really appreciate you coming today and having this conversation with you. We're so excited to have you as a tastemaker. Like Lily said, you're obviously already crushing your goal big time and just bringing so much energy and everything to the group. So
Also, you're hilarious.
Yes, I know.
Let's just point that out. Like, hilarious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So fun. Thank you so much. We love you. You're the
We do.
best. Thank you
This
for
is amazing.
everything.
It's been such a great ride so far, and just can't wait to take it the rest of the
Continue
way.
rocking out.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Kristyn.
Thank
We love
you.
you. Bye.